You're still with me in our lesson, Physical Quantities, Units, and Measurements. I am Victoria, and I'm here again to guide you through the last topic for this chapter, which will be about the conversion of units. Let us first have a quick recall. Last time, in the part 1 of chapter 1.1, we talked about measurements and uncertainties. We have also defined the difference between uncertainty and error. Next, we enumerated the two types of error and differentiated accuracy from precision. For part 2 of chapter 1.1, we talked about the importance of using significant figures in our measurements as well as the rules and techniques for counting them. While in chapter 1.2, we discussed the significance of units, the types of units, and the system of units. We also define the metric system to be the international system standard for units. Using everything that we have learned so far, we are now ready to proceed to the next topic, which is about unit conversion. Suppose that you are now a multimillionaire and your goal is to travel the world and take pictures in every country that you visit. However, as you go from one country to another, you find out that different countries have different currencies. You cannot use Philippine peso to buy products in New York. So what you do is you exchange your Philippine currency into US dollars, which is New York's currency. This real-life illustration is a great representation of the unit conversion's importance in our daily lives. Vast portions of the world use differing unit standards. Sometimes within the borders of a single country they will be different. For those wanting to use the technology of the rest of the world and products from the rest of the world, converting units is the way to be able to do this, to even understand how things work elsewhere. Whenever we work with equations, we have to make sure that we are working with the same units. In converting units, there is one thing that we need to always take note of. That is, the conversion factor. A conversion factor is a numerical quantity that we can multiply or divide to the number or quantity that we want to convert. Here are some conversion factors for length, mass, and volume. Please take note of these commonly used conversion factors, for they will come in handy in the future. Let's have this sample problem. Suppose your mother asked you to buy 10 meters of cloth so she can sew it as a table cover. When you arrived at the textile department of the mall, you found out that they only sell cloths by yard and not by meter. What are you going to do? Simple. We convert meters to yards. To convert between units, you're usually given one measure and asked to convert to another measure. In this case, the given unit is in meter, and we are to convert it to yard. First, we should know the conversion factor. We have 1 meter to be equal to 1.09361 yards. Next, to cancel a unit, the same unit must be in the numerator and in the denominator. When you multiply across the table, the top number will be divided by the bottom number, and the result will be the answer in the desired units. So, since we have 10 meters in the numerator, the unit in the denominator of the conversion factor should also be in meters. Therefore, we have 10 meters multiplied with 1.09361 yards per 1 meter. Cancelling the unit in meter, we are left with a unit in yards. Doing the math, we now have the converted value to be 10.9361 yards. Now for the question, how many yards should you buy? Since the mall only sells linens by yards, we have to round off to the nearest whole number. Therefore, you should buy 11 yards. Let's have another example. Convert 10 kilometers per hour into meters per second. First, let us first convert kilometer to meter. Noting the conversion factor to be 1000 meter in 1 kilometer, we have 10 kilometers per hour, multiplied with 1000 meters per 1 kilometer. Cancelling kilometer, we are left with 10,000 meters per hour. Next, let us convert hours into seconds. We know that 1 hour is just equal to 3,600 seconds. Therefore, we have 10,000 meters per hour, multiplied with 1 hour per 3,600 seconds. Cancelling the hour and doing the math, we are left 10,000 meters over 3,600 seconds. Further simplifying the answer, we get 2.78 meters per second. That means, 10 kilometer per hour, is just equal to 2.78 meters per second. Are you now ready for another brain exercise? Try to convert the following units. Pause the video if you need more time. Are you done? I will now reveal the answers. Did you get it all correctly? Well, if you got 4 over 4, then you're ready for the next chapter. That ends chapter 1, Physical Quantities, Units, and Measurements. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask your instructors. Also, brace yourselves for you will now have your first chapter quiz. Once again, this is Victoria. Good luck and stay safe always. Goodbye. Copyright Notice. Copyright 2020. All rights reserved. This material is a property of Kaga State University. Unauthorized reproduction, distribution, or storage of this material in any format is strictly